Hey guys, it's me, Sasa, and this is Rated Sasa. For today's video, I want to show you guys how a klutz like me can manage to stay on top of things while juggling. Yes, and I also want to teach you guys how you can too. I have 5 steps to present to you guys today. Let's start. First step, set rules for yourself. I am not naturally stoic person. If you don't know what stoic means, they are stoic, if you know what I mean. I have the tendency to overindulge in things that at the moment I feel like will make me most satisfied. For example, if I'm reading a book and I get so engrossed in it, I'm like, well, this is self-care, right? Self-care is more important. So to counter this, I made less strict rules for myself. Naturally stoic people generally have like natural rules for themselves. Like they don't set it, it's just like they wake up and they're like, I take a shower at 7 a.m. in the morning every day. And they don't say that they made it a rule for themselves, they just say that they do that every day. I am all over the place and I can't do that. So instead, I'd rather do something than nothing at all. And that's how I live my day every day. The rules I make are typically vague, but they make me feel really rewarded after doing them. For example, I want to keep up with my physical health. So I want to work out every day, or I want to work out a consistent amount in a week. But there are days where I get lazy and I'm like, I'm not really feeling it. So instead of being like, this is my workout plan in a week, and then when I miss a day when I don't feel like it, just tell yourself, okay, get adequate amount of movement in a day. So movement can be 30 minutes walk, 5-minute jump rope, 10-minute ab workout, a 45-minute dumbbell workout. What's important is that the average I get in a day is the sufficient amount that I set for myself. So it's quite vague, but there is a goal and it is intentional. Try to find a way to incorporate your goal in daily habits. For example, instead of saying, I will write in my journal every day at 7 a.m. If you're not naturally like that, you don't have to be like that. Just say, I'll write in my journal for 10 minutes a day. And 10 minutes is your minimum. It can also be your maximum, the average per day. It's up to you. Don't do it when most people say to do it or say that they do it. Create your own method, but known methods and other people's methods just have to be the blueprint. Don't blindly follow it. Just use it as a guide. Second step to getting your life together. Use alarms. I mentioned this in my previous video that I have a digital planning system, but for things that I don't list down on my planner or like come out of nowhere, I set an alarm when I plan to do the thing, just to be absolutely sure I don't get lost in time. For example, I'm reading a book and then I remember, oh crap, I have a test at 5. What am I gonna do? Given that I did study throughout the week and I just need to review, but you know when you overlook, like you've been preparing for something for the longest time and then you overlook the time you have right before it. I set an alarm for 4:30, 4:45, depending on the subject, and then I'm like, okay, I will stop reading by when the timer starts and I will review for as long as I need, just a short amount of time, just to make sure that I still have all the concepts, like I didn't forget anything. And then who knows, if I finish earlier, I might go back to reading right before the test. Like it doesn't matter, just it's important that you just refresh your brain. Because sometimes when I'm reading and I'm like, oh wait, the timer hasn't gone off, I realize that, oh wait, maybe I read longer than I needed to. And so I end up studying right before the alarm is set. Like it also affects me psychologically. I don't know if that will work for you, but that's how it works for me. Third step to becoming organized is to turn multitasking into an advantage. Multitasking is not healthy. There's so many like research about how multitasking will affect your brain negatively. Like the fact that you're thinking about 2 things at once is not normal and shouldn't be normal. But hear me out. If you're doing your main task passively and then your extra task becomes what's filling your focus at that moment, that's an ineffective way to multitask and very dangerous way to multitask. That includes writing your notes, while watching YouTube or watching movie. Trust me, I've done that. 100% does not work. Instead of doing that, use YouTube or movies or, I don't know, anime as background noise, or like you can watch it while doing passive tasks like assignments, making a poster, or anything that doesn't really involve your cognitive functions. Like you don't have to really think hard on it, or like even if you do have to think hard on it, at least it's not as urgent as having to study for a lesson, you know, or having to study for a test. For harder tasks, and like these are tasks that you can't multitask on, spend less amount of time on it, or at least try to set a time for you to study on it or to work on it in a shorter amount of time than you expect. Like most people think that, oh, if I have to study for, I don't know, let's say chemistry, I need to spend an hour or two trying to learn it. To be honest, you don't. I've never done that. I've never done that in my life. I've never studied for 1 or 2 hours just to understand a topic. When I think of 2 hours, I'm like, oh my gosh, imagine the amount of Hunter x Hunter I could watch on 2 times speed. Like imagine how much I could finish in that time. Like I feel like I've wasted 2 hours if I had to study for 2 hours. So what I do is I set a timer for 30 to 45 minutes. This is chemistry, okay? 30 to 45 minutes in a deep state of focus. And you can do that too. Don't think about smutty romance. Don't think about Timothy Chalamet's ass. Just think of the topic in front of you. I recommend preparing a guide for you to study. Like the guide that you prepare doesn't have to be done like for a long amount of time. Like right before you go to bed, you're like, oh, I need to study for chem tomorrow because I don't understand. So you find resources and videos that you can brush up on that will help you understand the topic more for when you plan to study. And I also recommend using 2 times speed. I do that for a lot of like Khan Academy videos and the organic chemistry tutor. I always watch it on 2 times speed because the lessons are usually in 40 minutes, but then if I play it on 2 times speed, it becomes 20 minutes and I understand the same concepts. Like it's basically just showing you repeated problems that increasingly get harder and harder. So all you have to do is just watch it faster and learn to adjust to that speed. 4th step is using planners. Planners are kind of hard to manage. I didn't use a planner until like recently. I used to think that physical planners are better. It depends on your preference, but for me, I think digital planners are easier to use. I can just grab my phone and like, oh, I have to do something, and then I just like type on it. Or if I'm on my computer, I'm like, okay, I have to type on it. Like I don't have to find a physical notebook to just like, I can do it on multiple devices. And I also have customize it for my own like method, and I'm gonna show you guys that. Hey guys, welcome to my Notion setup. I'm just gonna be doing a quick show of my setup. I'm not really gonna be showing you guys how I did my setup. I'm just showing you what I do. So let's start with the first one that I made, which is a reading list. I just made it look really aesthetic at the top. I changed like the icons and whatever. This one here is my TBR, and so again, this is all news. This isn't really complete yet, and there are only a few things, but this is my idea of what I want for my reading journal. This one here is the books that I'm reading currently and also that I've finished. I have the book title, the medium, and it can be both. So for example, Jane Eyre, I am reading the physical book and the audiobook, so I just put it there just so that I don't forget, and like I can remember how I read it and the experience that I felt. Just the authors, the genre. I have a list of genres in here that I can also multi-select. And then I have the start date and end date. These are just like reference points. And then here is my rating. This is just a general overview of like what I think the book is to me. And then over here I have toggles. These are just the books after each month. So this is for October that I read, and then just so that it's not too messy looking. So this is my thoughts on Ninth House. For Inheritance Games, I have a few quotes that I really liked, so I just put it there under quotes, and then like a little like insight that's not really part of my review, but like just a little comment about the writing or like the characters. Next is the YouTube scripts. it's also in the similar format of my TBR, but this one is just like, these are ideas that I want to film. This is things that I have to film, and you can see how I stay organized is right there. And then out of those scripts, like videos that I have already filmed. So far I have one out of these ideas. For the planner, I'm doing this weekly. This one is a weekly spread. Since this is my first week using it, this is what I have so far, but the next time I use it, there's gonna be another toggle just so that I keep it really simple and neat, but I can still like see what I've done in the past weeks, just so that, you know, just to review. And then I have a calendar for October right here, and then this one is a note. Like, this is supposed to be like the section where I have my notes for, I don't know, like when I have a meeting or something. These are just personal notes. These are goals for myself. So here I have beginner, like things I'm a beginner at, things I'm intermediate at, and advanced, so that whenever I ask myself, wow, I have nothing to do, what can I do, I literally have a bunch of things I can do and things that I want to do, so I have no excuse not to do anything. Okay, this is my study guide. Again, only a very few things. I have my name, the name of the subject, the type of reviewer or I don't know, file that I want to insert here, and like these are links to, oh, like there, like that's a link to a video. And then the last one that I made is for TV and movies. So for this one, I have the title here, and then the medium, basically if it's a series, an anime movie, a movie, and any of the sort, an animated film, and then the genre of it here, and then the episode or time mark that I'm on. I haven't really updated this yet because I haven't been really watching recently. I've been reading a lot more. And then this is my want to watch list and things that I want to look out for. And yeah, that's it for my setup. For planning, make use of time blocking and timers. Like, incorporate those like things in your plan. The fact that I have a TV and movies journal shows that I have effectively managed my time in a way that makes it look like I have all the time in the world. And my friends are always telling me that like, wow, how do you have that much time? A little tip, since my Notion is new and I wasn't really able to show you how I spaced out my studying sessions, a tip for you guys is each day set a goal to study at least 2 subjects, or it depends on you. I personally, during the start of a semester, like when there aren't any tests yet, I typically go for 2 subjects a day, at least 15 minutes. But definitely every day, try to set 15 minutes per subject. And then when the test is nearing, that's when you spend a little bit more time on it. I never really spend an hour more on it, if I'm being honest. Okay, 5th and last step, and this is the most important step. I swear by this step. Always ask questions from friends. No man is an island, no man stands alone. God gave us 2 hands so we can talk to people on our phones. So guys, huwag mahiyang magtanong. If you have a question, just ask the damn question. Don't care if I look like a dumb bitch. I will literally ask them the simplest questions just to make sure, just to make absolutely sure that I don't miss an assignment, a test, a date, a deadline, or even just like simple instructions. And not only does that help like with your grades, that also really helps you socially. It's better to look like an ignorant dumb bitch than to look like all high and mighty but actually know nothing. Anyway, that's it for today's video. These simple tips are really helpful to me, and this has been what I've been learning now that I'm a college freshman. These tips have really helped me become better at managing my time. Now I get to make videos, I get to read more, I get to watch more, and I get to just do a lot more. I'm also trying to learn chess now. I've never played chess in my life. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you like it. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, which is coming up very soon. Bye, I love you.